How fucking lame.
What are your orders?
My order is for you to fucking actually do the shit.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Imagine having some game mechanics that actually work.
Bien.
Imagine being able to see. Well, there went that idea.
Hello, welcome back to the Game Boys podcast. Will and James here with episode 13.
Oh, that's an unlucky number there.
Oh yeah, it's where it's all gonna fall apart. How's your week been, man?
Just a lot of work. That's about it.
I have been the opposite. I haven't had much work at all.
Well, I ain't really had no work. I had a lot of going to work.
Yep. Yeah. I had a lot of
Being at
4-hour
work.
days.
So
They're cutting back on hours so the bosses can get their bonuses. I wish I
gotta
was
get those
joking.
hours.
Anyways, as always, we always start off with our wheel spin stream talks. So you started last time. So I was thinking I was going to start, but I mean, kind of want to hear what you have to say about your game because, man, your game was, let's call it exciting.
Sure.
So go ahead. Let's hear about
so William, have you ever played a really shitty game?
Yeah.
You ever played a really bad, just terrible controls game?
Absolutely.
No, you haven't, because you haven't played Commandos 3. You have not played Commandos 3. Man, where do I even begin? Everything that's wrong with any game is probably also wrong in that game. Controls.
Well, we don't know how good the story was because you couldn't get there.
Sort of. I got there. That's as far as I got. But up to that point, there was literally like no story. But of course, in all fairness, I played the tutorial and wanted to kill myself. So, controls are awful. The camera angles are the worst I've ever seen. And I've played the games where you can't really pan and can't pan your view, and you can't, and still they're better than this. You go into a 2-story building and you can't even see yourself if you're on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Of course, as usual, I'll be adding footage, so it'll make sense what I'm saying. So,
I mean, it'll look like a still frame because, I mean, can't fucking see anything.
Yeah, I can't see shit. And the missions were just probably, even if the controls weren't bad, the missions seemed so stale. And you also seem kind of foobar because, like, hell, you get right there at the very fucking beginning of the first mission after the tutorial, and you're surrounded by the enemy, and you're supposed to what? Surprisingly, take them all down. It's like the craziest shit I've ever seen. It's a lot of stealth involved. It's a lot of tactics and strategy or whatever. Supposedly you can play this game however you feel like playing it.
Obviously not. I saw you get
But,
shot up.
Yeah, I can't think of a realistic approach to actually take to play in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. I mean, I played Siphon Filter, and this one's actually worse. And I didn't think I would ever beat like find a game that's
Siphon
worse than
Filter.
Siphon Filter was.
I forgot about that game.
I mean, I'd rather keep constantly falling into fire than to play this game ever again. So, needless to say, is definitely not on my playlist. It's a never touch, never even look at. I can't wait to erase it or delete
Put
it.
that
I
thing
haven't done
in-
that yet somehow.
In the hazard bin.
Huh?
Put that thing in the hazard bin.
Put it, yeah. Well, just never ever look at it again, honestly. I had hopes for it. I definitely went in with the right attitude, and it didn't take too long for that shit to just go out the window. Yeah. I don't know. I think I gave Siphon Filter a 2 out of 10. This shit is like,
-2.
if you could give it like 0, that's where it belongs. Fucking
Well, I mean, the
not.
fact that you struggled for an hour just to get out of the tutorial.
Yeah, and even you were watching and you couldn't figure out what the hell I was supposed to do.
Mm,
It's a tutorial. Tell me what to do.
right?
That's the whole point of a tutorial. Then I can go wander off on my own and at least somewhat know what the hell I'm doing. No. So it was a remastered version of the original. I'm guessing the original must have came out in like 1945 or some shit because it did not look good.
That shit had to be like on the Game Boy screen or something.
It was a World War II game that must have been like released during World War II. Like,
Mhm.
it's that fucking old. Like, it looked terrible. And the fact that it was remastered is hilarious because those graphics, man, woo,
Man,
and the
who-
gameplay and everything. You think if they remastered something, they'd at least get the controls right, get something right, because they didn't get anything right. That was a total miss.
man, it got remastered, so someone must have been playing it somewhere.
Someone loved it.
I don't know who the fuck though.
I like to think that I'm slowly becoming more and more of a PC gamer, but games like that, which are more so a PC type game,
Mhm.
kind of tell me that no, you're not. No, you're not, James. No, you're not. Not as much of a PC gamer as you think you are.
You just need to pick up some Pajama Sam, man.
No. I will not be picking this one up ever again either. So
I don't even ever want to remember this game's name because I already forgot it.
it's Commandos 3.
I did that on purpose.
Well, it sucks. So I'll remember it so I know not to ever be like, oh, that looks cool. No, I don't. No, I don't. And I already took it off the wheel, so thank God for that.
Burn it off the wheel.
Burn that fucker down. So that's really all I can think of to say because I didn't really do much. What I did do was something I
Suffer?
never want to do again. So let's talk about your game because I ain't got nothing else to say about mine.
So my game was Psychonauts, and you gave me the option to choose between the original Psychonauts, which I did end up choosing, or the new Psychonauts that released
Last year?
2021.
21, okay. 2 years ago.
And I was like, okay, well, I want to play the original one because story, And Psychonauts has always been a game that I had interest in.
Same.
It's kind of like that. What was the game I brought up to you? Jax and Dexter.
Jack and Daxter. That's just what the character looks like more than
Yeah, well,
anything.
It's that same kind of game. All those games are popular back in that day.
Platformer, basically.
yeah. They had Jack Dexter, Ratchet Clank.
It's like 3D platformer. It's really
3D. It's 3D platformer. You're in a training school to be
I'm a psychonaut.
I'm a psychonaut, which is like a
A
spy type deal.
who goes inside people's brains,
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
which is actually cool.
Yeah. Of course, my character had psychic powers. I didn't unlock anything over the basic one because I unfortunately didn't play much last night or whenever it streamed. Um, I can tell you right now, I really do want to play more of it. The only issues I had was, like I said, this game is back from original Xbox Day, so the controls aren't very great. And
Yeah, but you compare how wonky your controls were to how wonky mine.
your controls weren't wonky. You didn't have controls.
Yeah. Yours were a
But-
little wonky.
Mine were pretty wonky, though.
But you can overcome that.
Yeah. There was a few times where that did become a problem. Like you had to hit 20 enemies under a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't hit them.
And some of the platforming up high caused you to fall down further.
Yeah, there was that. But I mean, I ended up adjusting for that. There was points where I did do the platforming, and I would start freaking out because I think I'd overjump, but I didn't, so I ended up underjumping.
That's every game with a double jump. Every
Yeah.
game with a double jump, you're bound to overshoot your jump or undershoot it.
Well, it wasn't that I did either. It was I did the right amount, but I was like, oh, no, I didn't do
You
enough. Like,
misjudged it.
yeah, I tried to back up a bit. I was like, nope. Which I'm sure you can show that on screen, but it was pretty funny in my opinion. You collect these like hologram things. I don't remember what they were called. I don't remember any of the names actually.
Oh, God, what were they? Figments.
Yeah, the figments.
That's in figments of his imagination.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
whoever's
yeah.
brain you're in, they're figments of their
You
imagination.
could collect figments while you're in the brain. You could collect these cards that were floating around in the overworld, and
There's a lot of collectibles in that.
there's a pretty good amount of collectibles. All add up towards your psych. I think it was like a psych rank or something like
Level
that.
ups and shit like that.
Yeah. Once you hit rank 10, you get to get an upgrade point. So I never got to rank 10 because it was a lot. And that'll unlock your new ability, stuff like that. So I mean that was pretty cool. In my opinion, if it wasn't for how wonky the controls were, but that's because of its time, I think this game would be a solid 10. I think the characters were cool.
I thought it was really cool too.
They were fucking weird. I mentioned this as soon as I opened the game. It gave me the I'm sure you've never heard of it, the Invader Zim vibe. And the main character is actually voiced by the same character as the main character in that show. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I want to give it a 10, but because of the wonky controls, it's going to have to be like a 9.5. It's almost there. And this game is definitely a playlist. I'm probably going to go through and beat this game and then probably play the second one.
So this is one of those rare weeks where you got a better game than I did.
I usually seem to get real shit games.
Lately, you get kicked in the ass while I get to play like Spider-Man and.
Yeah, fuck you. I really wanted to.
Well, believe me, it all came falling back on me just this time around.
I forget. Did you say you're going to replay Spider-Man?
I'm gonna continue to play it. Yeah.
You're actually going to play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue. I mean, like I
So-
say, I got so much games I'm working on. When I'll continue, who knows? Hopefully sooner rather than later, so I'll still remember all the controls and shit.
So, why don't you tell us about the topic we got for this week, man?
Hold up, before I do that, I want to ask you one question since we just talked about that. Have there been any games that you've gone back to since playing them on a wheel spin?
Subnautica?
Did you go back to it, or did you bought a different version of Subnautica?
I went back to Subnautica and I did buy the newer game. Now I can't go back to the original Subnautica because it's no longer on Game Pass, and
Yeah,
I don't want to buy it. Not
Yeah.
when I have the newer version bought.
the newer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I noticed like I'll go back and play them, but I've never heard you say anything about going back and playing literally any of them.
I don't think I've went back and played any other one except Subnautica.
Because I know you had to be super close on Contrast. You could have finished that
Probably, but I haven't gone back and played that one.
Yeah.
I might eventually, but
So our topic then for episode 13, we're bouncing around like what to really call it, but it's like trends or tropes of like video games, and we're going to talk about some that we like, some that we don't necessarily care for, or some that we hate, or or just talk about them in general, even at that. So
yeah, and just for like the people listening, we have a list here, but I'm sure there's other ones that me.
there's probably a million that just
yeah. There's there's thousands of these things. These are ones that hit us that we think, oh yeah, this could be fun to talk about.
And we see a lot of it in more than just one game. If it's something that's just in one game, it's not going to make this list.
Well, I mean, the first one on here is probably just on one game.
No, I can already name 2.
Cloaking?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I want to hear this. What besides Crisis?
Besides Crisis, Halo.
All right, fuck you.
Halo, there's a cloak, and I hate when people use it.
Yeah, you got me there.
Especially in multiplayer, but
it took me a second, but yeah, it's like.
And there are other ones I just can't really think of them, but there are some where you can become invisible long enough to stealth. It's usually in stealth games.
Oh yeah.
Where cloaking is just sort of the whole point of it.
So the cloaking mechanisms in games, do you like that? Do you hate that?
Well, I mentioned one that I hated, and there's also I love it in Crisis. I think it has a place there. It would be stupid to put cloaking in a game where you go gung ho, guns blazing, and that would just be stupid and pointless. Yeah. I don't think it belongs in multiplayer. That's why I don't like it in Halo. It's not fair.
Yeah, I got you.
Fucking running around invisible. Well, speaking of which, it's also in the multiplayer for Crisis.
Yeah, but you could tell. You could still see them kind of.
You can see like a blur,
Yeah.
Ultimately, it just depends on how much you're paying attention. But
to me, it was noticeable enough to.
I still think it shouldn't be in it, honestly. I'm sure there's other games. I mean, I love it in the game, in the single player campaign. Yeah. Totally belongs. For multiplayer, I don't think it has a place. I think it's actually that reminds me of another one where you can cloak, which is one of the Call of Duty games where you jetpack and you cloak, and it's a pain in the ass. It's called Advanced Warfare.
We don't talk about that one, man.
Yeah, we do. I loved it.
Loved Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was terrible.
Yeah, I never played it. Here he goes. He's going to talk about a game. He's going to critique a game he's never played. Go ahead. Tell us how much you've never played it.
Never owned it, but I did play it. I
still call bullshit.
It sucked.
No, most of the other jetpack games sucked, and that one wasn't great either, but it was still better than the other two.
That one
we never talk about Infinite Warfare. That's what we should never talk about. Except for the story, the campaign was good.
I might be thinking of Infinite Warfare. I played one or the other, but I didn't play both. So
Infinite was Garbo.
I remember both. I remember the one I played was bad, so it could have been Infinite.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I remember one of those ones, and Ghost sucked for online. Ghost Story was really good.
Well, to me, I haven't played a Call of Duty story that I didn't like.
I haven't been playing the story lately.
Yeah. All right, so the second one is Cover.
Cover's fine.
Cover's
there.
But sometimes it's played out. I mean, yeah, it's fine, but it's played out. Like, God, does every third person shooter have to be cover based? Damn near every one of them is like, get behind cover, shoot over it.
You know what I hate about cover games, and off the top of my head, Call of Duty is the worst fucking offender for this.
Head glitches and shit like that.
Is cover you can shoot through.
Well, if they're not going to be consistent about it, I do get that.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's a damn plank of wood and you're hiding behind it, and they shoot through the wood, that makes sense. Bullets can penetrate wood.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting behind a giant damn cinder block, fucking huge brick wall, you should not be shot through that shit.
Okay.
That makes sense.
What is rewinds?
So rewinds is
Like what YouTube used to do, YouTube rewinds.
Like in a lot of games, especially like driving racing games,
Hmm.
you be hauling ass and you wreck into a wall. Then you can back that shit up, rewind it, and do it right. Like I think one of the Forza games does that shit.
That sounds like Burnout to me.
Burnout. I know there's like it's more than one game, but like, and then there's like actual action type games that aren't racers that are still the same idea. It's like instead of continuing on the course that you're on, which obviously is going to screw everything up for you, you can just
Yeah.
and then same shit again and do it right. They used to have it in I know you hate this, but they had it in a Madden game too, where like it was an option on like one of the easier levels where you can just like, you see, you left a guy wide open to be Madden talking to you or whatever. You left a dude wide open and you took the sack instead. Let's try that again. You're like, zzz, and then you do the same shit and you actually can make the right play, I guess.
Yeah, that seems dumb.
So rewinds, I'm not a fan of, but I get why they exist. I think if you fuck up, you should pay the price. It's like it's just like life, you know what I'm saying? You get pissed off and shoot your neighbor. You don't get to just unshoot them.
My God, if you could, I would just keep doing it over and over. Rewind.
Yeah.
Rewind.
So that's what I mean by rewinds.
So the next one we have up is decisions. It's like, making different decisions in games.
And having them actually affect.
Yeah.
A lot of times this mechanic doesn't even work, though.
I like when it does work.
Yeah, when it does work, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, it's so rare. A lot of games will claim that they work. No. It didn't affect anything. Which basically puts us right to the next one because the next one's basically piggybacking off of this one.
Yeah.
So.
We'll go through this one first, and then I'll bring up what I was going to say. But a lot of these decision-based games also have multiple endings, and I like the whole multiple ending kind of mechanic or gimmick, if you want to call it that. And one of the biggest games I could think of was a PlayStation game. It was Heavy Rain. I don't know if you ever played it or not.
Yeah.
I liked that one a lot. That was good story and a
it was borderline walking simulator, but there's no real action to it.
That mixed with a Tall Tale game.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought the story
okay.
The story itself made up for it.
Sort of a psychological thriller type. Plays itself, really. You just kind of have to make decisions. Yeah. You can get multiple endings on Far Cry games, depending on your choices.
Yep.
A lot of, what do you call them?
I don't know.
Can't think of stupid games. Role-playing games. A lot of role-playing games, you affect the ending.
I know in the one Far Cry game, I think it was Far Cry 4.
Yeah, Far Cry 4.
Literally in the beginning, you could just sit there for, I think it was 10 minutes.
He tells you to sit there. If you sit there, you get long enough, you get the ending.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes, I think.
The game ends. You're 10 minutes into a game and it ends.
No conflict, no nothing. It's just game over.
Nobody has to get shot. No one has to, whatever.
So maybe that guy wasn't a bad guy this whole time,
That's always how Far Cry plays it, where they're never truly all bad. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The cult dude is pretty bad from 6.
Far Cry 3 is pretty bad.
The guy from the 6 one is pretty fucking bad.
Still, ultimately, what? He's like still kind of good. Like, if you pay attention, he's a family man. He's a traditional person. He's got good qualities. It's just they're not all.
He leads a murder cult. I mean,
yeah, he's also, but for what purpose is he doing it? It's supposed to be some kind. In his mind, that's a grand purpose. It's not for like to be the badass or
I don't
'cause I hate
sympathize with
everybody or want to
I
kill
never
people.
sympathize with the bad guy.
I don't either, but I still understand it.
I don't give a fuck if they had the best excuse in the world to murder a baby.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, so I mean, multiple endings is cool.
Mhm.
In most of the cases, I only ever get to see one because I don't want to go
Oh,
back and
yeah.
play it. if the decision that it all hinges on is right there at the end, just save it. Make
Right.
one decision, watch the ending, go back, make a different decision, watch the ending. That's cool. But if you
You know
gotta literally play it all over with a whole different style,
another game that both decisions and multiple endings reminded me of?
what?
BioShock.
Yep.
Kill the kid or
BioShock,
rescue the kid. Yep.
you can either harvest all the little sisters, or you can
Save them all.
save them all, or you can do a mixture of the two.
Do you get a different ending for those?
I think so.
Okay, I didn't know.
So I
I've
think there's
never
those
beat it.
3 possible endings there. That's totally worth it. I played through harvesting. I never played through killing them all. I mean, I played through harvesting them all. I never played through saving them all because I like to harvest them to get to Adam.
In the Switch version I have, I'm going through without harvesting any of them. So
Oh, you're saving them all?
yeah, because they give you good shit. I mean,
Yeah, you get good shit for killing them.
they give you Adam either way.
Yeah.
Just
don't know.
not as much.
Yeah, right. I was trying to be as beefed up of a character as I can be.
Next up, we have New Game Plus, and I'd say right now I'm a huge fan of New Game Plus.
I prefer New Game Plus. If you expect me to ever start that game over,
yeah.
it better be New Game Plus.
It gives replayability off the bat,
And it makes it worthwhile to go back and try to tidy up and get all the collectibles that you might have missed, because at least you're not going in butt naked like you started the first playthrough.
I mean, I was also thinking there's a level you had problems with. Go in New Game Plus, just take your rocket launcher you got in the last mission, boom,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not butt naked no more. You can actually
Resident Evil. Ugh.
that, like I say, man, you just sure up those collectibles that you might have missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go New Game Plus and then go on like the easier difficulty or a harder difficulty, depending on how you feel like playing.
Nah, fuck that. You always go harder or you're a bitch.
Well, you can go easier just so you can actually go looking around for collectibles. That's the only purpose of doing it
Don't be a
easier, so
bitch.
you don't have to fight necessarily. You can be like, oh, where's these collectibles?
Get off
Shoe
me.
fly, shoe fly, shoe fly. Stop barely shooting me with your fake bullets. New Game Plus is a must.
Yes, absolutely. In every single way.
Yeah.
Or even
I mean, or why have like power-ups and upgrade? Why upgrade your character through an entire playthrough if you're gonna start? You had to start completely over with nothing.
have you ever I know you've beaten Borderlands. Did you play it on the harder difficulty that unlocks after you beat it?
I mean, did I go back again? No.
Okay. So Borderlands does the thing where it's you play through normally and then you get to Vault Hunter mode, or I think it's Vault Hunter mode. And basically it's how you get to the highest level in the game. Because you usually end the game around level
50.
30, I think.
Well, 50 is like the cap for the base game, and then the first one anyway, and then you can go to like 61 or
With the
something
DLC.
weird.
But I think beating the game the first time you get to around maybe level 30. And then you go into Vault Hunter mode, and that's where you get more XP and stuff like that. The level scaling goes up. But you basically start the game over with your abilities and everything already. Just more XP output.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool. I like that too.
makes it work.
But it is harder. You're picking up better loot and stuff, so it's not too much harder.
I mean, I typically play a game on the normal level the first time through.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I realize that was just too damn easy, then I'll go up a level. if I know I'm really not planning on playing it, but I need to get some of the achievements I might have missed or what collectibles, then I'll just go to the easier level and just run through it and collect whatever I need to collect.
I hated when games required you to play through every single difficulty to get every achievement.
They don't
Like
stack.
you couldn't skip to the hardest difficulty and get them all.
Well, some of the
but-
times the hardest difficulty doesn't unlock until you beat the game.
Yeah, there's
on the
that too. I hate
previous
that too.
difficulty.
I hate that too. Just let me play the fucking hardest one. If I
Yeah.
want to play the hardest one.
Yeah.
Next up, we have randomly generated assets, and I'm going to throw randomly generated worlds in there too.
Yeah.
They're okay.
I mean, that's Borderlands right there.
Yeah.
Borderlands, everything's so randomly generated. It has
The guns, the loot
the-
is, yes.
the
yeah.
loot. Yeah.
I love that. I feel rewarded for grinding out, killing enemies over and over to get better loot.
Well, I feel like the only randomly generated levels is typically in roguelites and shit. And therefore, it doesn't really matter because I don't like playing those games.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, if they found a way to do that in but see, it's kind of hard to do that in like a story driven real game because even the environment matters. Like, you can't
I'm sure
really-
there's a way.
There's probably a way, and someone's going
There's
to find a
probably
way to
games
do it.
that have it, but
There probably are that I can't think of.
none I can think of either. Even if it's just like a level that's randomly generated, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like you're in an RPG and they're like, this maze is constantly changing, and every time you go through it is a different
So you think you
path.
figured it out, but now you're going to go in there and there's something totally different. Like
Mhm. I mean, you just hug right either way, but
that'd just be something. It would look and appear like they literally borrowed that from roguelites. This one little cave is a roguelite cave in the middle of a action game or whatever.
So yes to random generated assets, no to randomly generated worlds.
Right.
Because they can't do it right without being a real light.
It's the good example I have, and it's not a good example.
Yeah. Dungeon
crap.
crawlers. Dungeon crawlers are randomly generated worlds.
I don't know of any that play that way, honestly.
The Binding of Isaac.
See, again, there's a game I don't know nothing about, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's a roguelike though. That might be a roguelike. I've never
Probably
played it.
is.
It
Sounds
probably
like
is.
it would be.
I don't know.
Crafting.
Crafting's cool in Minecraft, but that's part of the point of the game.
RPGs, it makes sense to have to craft things,
Yeah.
but I think they overdo it.
I feel like
I mean, you're running around collecting freaking random flowers and random
yeah.
shit, just pieces of cloth and trash, just so you can craft something. It's like, okay, that was fun the first 5 times. Now I'm just doing this a million times in the game.
One way I like it is a good example I have at least is the Sword Art game I was just playing. Sword Art Hollow Fragment. Their crafting system is literally you just gather materials, you give it to the character, and they'll make whatever weapon you want. But the more crafting materials you put into it, the better like attack, strength, poison, stuff like that effects it gives your weapon. I like that. I don't have to do anything special. I can just gather them throughout me playing through without going out of the way, and just give her the things, and I get a super badass sword.
So I like it in like Tomb Raider. You
Mhm.
craft your arrows and things like that, but you don't have to do too much. It's like you're not collecting a bunch of random stuff. You're literally
Yeah.
going to these one little things that have materials, they just call it.
I also hate when you have limited inventory space.
Yeah. And then here you are collecting leaves and twigs and shit like that. A bad example would be that they did it on this last Modern Warfare 2. There was 2
DMZ.
levels where you had to craft shit.
Oh yeah, it was like the last two, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think crafting belongs in a shooter, like a literally military shooter game. It
The
doesn't
only
make sense.
reason they did that was to promote DMZ, man.
Yeah, it was to get you. Again, but still ultimately it sucks. So crafting can be good depending on how it is integrated into the game and
Yeah. And your
how
preferences.
boring it becomes.
Yeah.
Like the crafting on Dead Space is cool.
Resident Evil wasn't too bad either. You just,
So it has its, it has its place, and it also has where they should have just probably skipped that idea and moved on.
mhm. All right. What about the job systems in games?
Oh, that shit should not be in it.
Nope.
It's so
Nope.
fucking boring.
Get it.
I got stuck on Shinmu
I'm
where I
the-
was just going to work every day driving a damn forklift. Jeez, that sounds so original. Almost as if I'm living my own life on
Right?
a game.
I don't want to go
Playing
to
The
work.
Sims.
I want to play a game. I don't want to fucking go to work while I'm at the game. While I'm
I'm
playing the
playing
game.
Sim James. I'm
If I want to
playing
do a
me.
job in a game, it got to be like a GTA job where I'm literally killing people to fucking get money.
Well, okay, so obviously, yeah, if your job is a cop or whatever, I didn't count that. Like if you're like, that's your character, he's a cop, and yeah, you're running around solving crime. That's one
No,
thing.
I'm talking
If
like
you have to have a job just for like in a stupid, yeah. So like, it wasn't really a job, but like on Bully, you had to go to school every day.
I don't like that either.
I thought it was cool because I picked something easy. I picked spelling, so I literally was gonna ace that shit anyway. So
I don't like going in schools and games either. The newest Pokemon has that mechanic, but it's optional. Luckily,
yeah.
I just said fuck that and all the other
But
shit.
overall, it's bad. It's stupid. It's like it should not exist. I don't understand why.
Actually, I take that
does.
back. It's not completely optional. There's some unlockables you are stuck behind it.
Yeah.
So I did have to do one class, but other than that, I didn't care.
So the next one is something we talked about. What last week? I think we mentioned it. It's like, damn, what is this? Why does this shit keep reoccurring in like every game?
What, fishing?
Fishing.
I love fishing in games.
Now, I'm not
man.
talking about a fishing game. I'm not talking about we're playing catch that bass or whatever the hell, whatever a fishing game would be,
Yeah.
like real bass fishing tournaments or some shit.
I don't mind it if it's not like a part of the story or anything, but you could just go like, I feel like I want to do some fishing in this game. I've played games where it was like required by story for you to catch certain fish.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want
Final
to.
Fantasy was that way.
No, a Dragon Ball Z game had one of those in there, and it was part of the.
Fantasy 15 or whatever it was.
It was part of the one of the missions, and it's like, I want to fight shit. I don't want to sit here and fish with my, alien tail or whatever.
Well, especially when the fishing isn't really like fishing. You're just like, you throw it out there, your controller vibrates, and you start reeling it in. Lame.
Yeah,
I enjoy actual fishing.
I don't.
I used to anyway, but now the damn snakes won't let me do it.
It
The bees don't like to let me do it either.
depends. If we're on a dock, yeah, sure. But I'm not going on no boat and doing that shit, man.
I'd rather be on a boat. I'm the opposite way.
I can't swim very well. I'm afraid of the water. I'd fall out and want to be able to get back in the boat.
So yeah, I mean, to me, the fishing is just why. It'd be okay if one or two games did it, but damn,
Yeah,
it can't be a damn role playing game without fishing.
that's true.
I'd rather hunt than fish in games like that. I'm not bitching about the hunting. I'm bitching about the fishing.
Yeah. Well, this next one we got, this is going to be an easy yes for both of us. Character customization
Yeah,
in video games is an absolute must.
I think almost everybody would agree because people bitch when there's not enough of this.
Yeah. Oh God, that was one
Heaven
of the big-
forbid you ever play as like a basic character, like that you can't change their clothes, you can't change their fucking appearance.
A lot of people hate when you can't, or if they only give you so much character
Not enough, yeah.
customizations. like a game that I won't name only has 4 outfits you can choose from, and everyone fucking hates it.
And
Everyone
even
who-
like weapon customization is cool. Fucking
Oh yeah.
vehicle customization, man. That's what made Juice 2 so great.
Oh yeah, the decals, the liveries, vinyls, all
Yeah,
that. I love it.
all
Love
that
it.
shit, dude. Customization, man, that shit makes it worthwhile a lot of the time.
It's what keeps you playing the game sometimes. I want to unlock this spoiler to put on my thing.
I want to have one giant eyeball in my forehead.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
Yeah.
Character customization, 100% must have.
Yeah. That was
Or your
easy.
game's bad. I want cyberpunk type customization on every game.
No.
I want my dick to be huge in every game.
Oh, it's funny,
Just
you know.
to-
I still
just to
have the
see it once.
screenshot of my guy's giant stuff.
Just to see it once and for it to be covered up for the rest of the game.
Oh hell.
Uh,
Yeah, that took it an extra level there.
mhm. So, Dad, what about this family friendly mode that you put on here?
Oh, you know, I think it only exists because people don't know when to tell their kids that they're too young to play something. Hell,
There-
even the game I played today, that Commandos nonsense that I'd like to forget about,
Uh huh.
right at the very beginning, it asked me, I guess because I guess it's the culture we live in or something. Because it was a World War II game, you had the option of having the symbols in it or not. It's not very genuine if you're fighting against Nazis and there's no damn Nazi swastikas and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's a piece of history. You can't just erase it. It doesn't
Also,
make it great.
whenever you go to buy a game,
There's this
Oh.
ESRB rating.
on the front you get the cool little rating. If
That's
you turn the game,
ESRB.
you turn the game around, it'll tell you why it has that rating on it. This
Yeah.
game is rated T because it has blood, language, and suggestive themes. I mean, as a parent, I'll look at that and be like, yeah, no, I'm not buying you GTA 5, you're 4.
I think it's lame that they ask you, do you want to turn this shit off? Turn off blood and gore? Why did I pick this game? Probably because it has a bunch of blood and gore.
Now, there was one mission in a Call of Duty game that I kind of understood.
Oh, that was cool though. I don't care. It's a game.
I can get why other people
I would never
would-
suggest anyone do that in real life where they just
No.
basically shot up the whole airport.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of innocent people died.
Yeah, I kind of get that though. I mean,
Do you want it in there? I bet most people, I bet at least 90% of people that played that left that shit on.
oh, I mean, I did. I definitely would.
My panties were not in a bunch. I thought it was
I'm-
cool as shit because it's a
I'm
game.
also, I'm also a little fucked up in the head, so you know.
I mean, it's a game ultimately. I don't run around and really shoot people, but
Yeah.
it's a game. No one got hurt.
I would
No
never
pixels
kill.
were harmed.
I would never kill a dog in real life, but you don't know how many dogs I've ran over in like GTA 5, man.
Yeah.
At
Or how many
least
random
20.
pedestrians you run over in games like that.
No, I'd do that in real life. Stay the fuck out of my way.
As good as you drive.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. So,
Oh, all right. So stealth.
stealth.
I personally don't like stealth games, but I like the option of being stealthy.
So, I guess anything like this would be because like fishing is not in a fishing game.
hmm
We're not talking about it in terms of in a fishing game. So, neither are we talking about stealth and stealth games.
Okay.
So, like stealth missions that are in like an otherwise shoot 'em up, them.
Yeah, I'm okay with that then.
High action.
My whole thing is when I pick up a game, I want to play it how I want to play it. So when I pick up a stealth game and I don't have the option of going out there and just randomly shooting people, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But-
So sometimes that pisses me off with Hitman because like Hitman is a
Hitman-
stealth game, but you're the weakest son of a bitch in a fight. It's ridiculous.
Right? Yeah. You're supposed
As
to
soon
be
as you
this
get
badass
caught,
sneaking
man, you might
agent.
as well just lay down and die because you cannot fight your way out of it.
But
And it's
you
like,
know,
well, I thought he was a badass.
when I pick up what's a good one? Halo. Yeah, you can be stealthy in Halo, I'm sure. Probably not, no.
I would never play it that way.
Okay, when you pick up GTA and you're in a mission, you definitely can be stealthier. You can
Any
walk up
game that
behind.
has quote unquote takedowns and shit,
Yeah, there are
there's
special
some element of
takedowns,
stealth to them.
in GTA, and the animations are actually fucking sick. You get like a
Yeah.
glass
If you can
bottle, and
creep
you
up behind
yeah,
them
right,
and
someone
yeah.
fucking nick. I love that shit. You know, I like that. I like that I have the option of doing it, even if I don't usually do it. It's sometimes you want to change shit up.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's debatable. It depends on how well it works within that game. Ultimately,
So up next, you got health meters or health bars. I'm assuming.
yeah, health meters, health bars, whatever.
These are great in RPGs, stuff like that.
I think they're great in anything with a boss fight.
Yeah.
It helps to know how far you've gotten along with this boss with no health meter. You
No,
don't
I
really
hate when
know.
you're. I hate. I can't think of a game off my head, but it does this. But I know there's some that do this, where you get a big fucking boss and you're beating it for like 20 minutes, and you still like, am I almost done?
You have no clue, right?
Cuphead does that shit. Cuphead's a good example.
See,
of that.
Cuphead should have health meters because that's that type of game.
Yeah,
It's literally one boss fight after another. That's all there is in Cuphead.
No, what they do is after you die in the mission, they show you how far you've gotten.
Okay, I guess.
So I guess you could judge the time like that, but I would rather be frustrated that I almost killed the boss than I died and then saw that I almost killed the boss.
Yeah.
I'd
Like,
rather
I
be
was that close, I would have chilled out and made sure I didn't take no more damage.
I'd rather be at the all right, I got one more hit and I got him and I fuck up rather than I die and it's like, fuck, I could have played a little better and I had one more hit.
I had no idea it was that close.
And like
And then as
shooting
far
games-
as your health meter sometimes can be
as far as like
helpful.
shooting games, shit like that, maybe not. I don't.
Yeah, for a reason of something that's going to come up later on, but we're not going to talk about that. Like the third one down.
Oh yeah.
So
No, we go to talk about that one next and just scratch it off.
we'll just talk about it next then.
Yeah.
So when your health gets low, what usually happens, especially in shooters?
You get like a red border to your screen, stuff like that.
Sometimes you
indicator-
get blood splatters all over your
Yeah.
screen and you can't even see, so then you don't have a chance to fight back.
Yeah, you get indicators in the game that you're dying.
That you need to take some down cover and
Yeah.
so
That's
that's
fine
the
too.
red screens that kind of they're helpful and hurtful at the same time because sometimes they take up too much of the screen before you can even see to defend yourself, or
Yeah, I could see that.
especially the
also-
ones that have like the blood splotches everywhere all over the screen and it's so red that it got dark all of a sudden and you can't really see. But other than for that, it makes sense because you need to know, oh shit, I need to pay more attention. I need to take some cover and regain some health or heal or something.
Yeah. This next one should go without saying. HUDs. I feel like,
As
every
long as
game,
they're not overly bulky and taking up
Yeah.
too much of the screen,
every game should have some kind of HUD. It's
something, yeah, some idea of anything. Like
part
part of that HUD should be what the
Uh,
next one,
mini maps.
mini maps.
I mean, not necessarily. A lot of games are linear. You only can go one direction.
Well, any linear game, you don't need it. All you
Yeah.
really need is like some sort of like
Any
compass indicator telling
Yeah.
you.
Any open world game though should have it.
Yeah.
Without
Now, a lot of
doubt.
your shooters that multiplayer type shit should also have a damn mini map.
Now, what do you think about like hints and tips on the screen and stuff?
Some games overdo it. My God, can I play the game without being told what to do the entire game?
I hate when you're playing through a game if you've already done the action and then it comes up and like, hey, you can do this by the way. It's like,
Duh, I already know
fuck,
that.
I've been spamming that for 10 minutes now.
Now,
Yeah,
one bad aspect of it though how do you feel about where you have to like ask for a hint, and if you do, it's like you're penalized?
I can't really think of anything like that, but I
I
probably
can't think of the
would like
name
that.
of the game, but I remember it's like there's the option to ask for a hint, and if you ask for the hint, your like score or whatever is like not as good.
Yeah, that's lame.
Some puzzle type game. I forget what it was.
You know, along with the asking for hints and stuff, you think every game needs a tutorial?
Some semblance of one, yes.
I think every game should have a tutorial, but it should be optional. It's that simple. There's always, even in a series of games that play the same, you know, you pick up Borderlands, you pick up Gears, you pick up Halo, and if you've been playing from the beginning, it's played all the same. But
Like
if you're
a
playing
full-on tutorial, though, a separate tutorial versus like as you go into a situation for the first time that you need to do something different that you haven't done yet. To me, the tutorial should be part of the first mission.
yeah, I get that.
And like, for example, the first time you have to shoot someone in a game, or first time you have to hunt an animal down, it should tell you how, and then leave you the hell alone about it. And then let you know that you can always look back to the controls or whatever later on. They shouldn't necessarily hold your hand for like an hour.
Oh, I can think of a very bad example of games that hold your hand for the first hour.
It's like, let me play. I want to play.
And the worst part is everyone's been complaining to this company that they should just like make the tutorial optional, but guess what? It's always forced, and we always hate it because we've been playing this game for over 25 years now.
Well, especially if it's a game that literally the controls haven't changed that much. You should only be getting a tutorial for the new thing, whatever's new.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There's new things that come up; those should be the only things that we need explaining.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, yeah, look, there's a new mechanic in this one that wasn't in the last 25 entries of this game, so let's tell you about that one.
Yep. I don't know what you mean by this one. Script.
You asked me what I meant, and I told you before. Okay, well, so anyway, so script is where there's shit you have to read.
Oh, right, yeah, my bad.
I mean, you literally played a game that was almost all script.
Yeah.
That
so
damn
like light novels.
light novel type game.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of that game, by the way.
Citizen Sleeper.
Citizens, yeah. Fuck.
Especially in this day and age when there are voice actors in most every game, even if they're not even good. I'd rather that than have to read it.
Yeah. And if your fucking company is on a budget, go to Fiverr.
Now, if for the hearing impaired, I understand they should be able to turn that shit on.
Oh, I'll be honest. Whenever I play a game, even if it has voice acting, I stick the subtitles on.
Yeah, because you don't have to read it. It's not a must.
It helps. If you didn't understand something they said, you can look down. It's right there.
I like doing that when I watch YouTube videos or whatever. I leave the script on in case my forklift is too loud at work. Now I still at least can look down and read it if I have to, and then maybe wreck right into a wall or
it happens. We've all done that.
I mean, while I'm busy reading.
Have you dropped a pallet on top of the forklift yet?
Something similar to that, yeah.
I got a nice picture of me with a pallet of doors on my forklift. Although it wasn't
something similar.
It definitely wasn't my fault, but it was funny. And I was on the forklift. I'm like, oh fuck. I remember I stood still on the forklift for 10 minutes, and my boss walked out of his office. He's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I am not moving until you get this off my lift."
So again, we're not talking about in that type of game, but puzzles in a non-puzzle game.
Yeah, they're fine. If they're
not over the top stupid and require 18 different moves to get.
Yeah, if they're fun little puzzles, they're fine. I mean,
yeah,
mini games, stuff like that.
If they're not overdone.
Yeah.
Not too common.
All right. So, what do you think of cutscenes, man? And why should every game have some kind of cutscene in it?
I like cutscenes.
I do too.
Gives you a second to like to catch your breath, man. Especially on like high action games.
Yeah, after you're done with the boss battle, you know you're just fuck. Oh, thank God.
You're like, man, my food's over here getting cold. I've been so
or that, yeah.
caught into this game. Go ahead, cutscene. Tell me more. What else happened? You know, that's cool.
I ain't got anything to eat.
Sometimes cutscenes is really like the only bit of story you get in a game. Otherwise, you're just playing a whole bunch of shit and don't even know why.
Yep. I do think they should be skippable, though.
Yeah, they should be skippable, especially because if you've already played through it, you really don't need to see the cutscene again.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think they should be in the trailers. I hate that. When they show you a trailer full of nothing but cutscenes, that's weak, man.
I don't know about you, but I've always been lately I've wanted to avoid cutscenes for games I'm waiting, but I can't help but to watch them. The biggest example I have is the new Legend of Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I want to not look because I don't want to know, but I can't help it. I want to know.
Are you talking about you're just avoiding the trailer altogether? Or?
I want to avoid the trailer, but I end up watching it anyways.
Or previews, or people that get early access that are already making videos, man.
Because I'm excited for it. It's a problem.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, the trailer shouldn't be all cutscenes because then you still have no idea what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah, I hate that too.
You pick up a game based on the trailers, based on the cutscenes, it looks amazing. And then you realize that the cutscenes were really the only cool thing in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I've been duped again. I should have known if there was no gameplay in it, that it probably just sucks. The asking for help we already kind of mentioned.
Yeah,
literally that was the asking for a hint.
Yeah, hey, skip to 25 and then go to 24 from there.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the same thing.
So 25. This is our next to last one. Now it was our last one. It's Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say about Easter eggs? I think they're cool. I think 90% of them just go right over my head because if I don't know the original source of this material, it's not going to make a lick of sense to me.
And I
do think that you should come across these things naturally, not by looking at some dumb YouTube video where someone else found it. You should find it. And I think it would be way more amazing to you that you discovered something that you didn't even know existed versus all the Easter eggs in Borderlands. And then you go around and hunt all the ones that you didn't find yourself, that you looked at a video for how to find them.
Yeah. And the Easter eggs can be something simple like a line said, out of nowhere. Like I think you mentioned one from a game you played.
Yeah, it was a
Die Hard line. It
was on Close to the Sun where they basically referenced Die Hard because the character was crawling through the ductwork. Let's go to the coast, have a few laughs, or whatever. Whatever the hell the words, whatever it was. It was hilarious.
Or it could be something like what's that game called? Dead Rising. Where you're in the mall. It could be that thing where it's the Mega Buster from Mega Man, but it shoots tennis balls or whatever it did.
Yeah.
Anything like that, or
Dead Rising. You talking about that Mega Blaster thing, the one that shoots Blaster. And once you get it, you're pretty much OP as hell too. It never seems to wear down and run out like most weapons do.
It's because both are Capcom games. They gotta.
Yeah, Capcom shout. That's Capcom shouting out to Capcom.
Yeah. It could be something.
There are a lot of games that have reference to cake ever since Portal came out.
Yeah, the cake
There's
is
enough of those damn Easter eggs involving cake.
There could be a cool Easter egg like the Resident Evil 3, I think it was, where if you play through some way, I can't remember how, you can play as a tofu guy. You're literally just a giant tofu playing through the game.
And often there's a lot of like pop culture references and
Yeah, pop culture references. Those are always cool.
just random shit like that.
You get Rackman and
They're cool if you get it. They're not cool if you don't. You're like, what? Because like I said, if you don't know the source material, the Easter egg isn't going to mean shit to you. You're just going to tell this is very weird. It doesn't look like it belongs in this game.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
And you always get those. There's some wholesome ones too. Sometimes where like you get the developers did their own little Easter egg. In that Spider-Man one you played, there was literally an Easter egg for where a guy asked the developers to ask the girl if he would marry her.
Yeah.
At a movie theater, which they ended up removing because she cheated on him. Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you could play as other characters from other games. Like in Lost Planet 2, you could play as Dom from Gears, which was cool. It's the only one off the top of my head.
Oh my god, there's so many. You can play as on some fighting games like Mortal Kombat. I think you can play as Rash and from Battletoads. There's like other like random characters that get thrown in, like Freddy Krueger is.
Yeah, that's not Easter eggs though. Those are
not Easter eggs, but I don't know of any Easter eggs that give you a character from another.
Just like Lost Planet, you get Dom. He was an Easter egg character.
On Bullet Storm, you can play as what's that little dude? Duke Nukem.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's an Easter egg either because like I said, I don't really. To me, I've never really experienced an Easter egg allowing you to play as another character.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much. That's fun though. It's like fun to be able to play as a different character just to kind of like spice it up, especially like when they have that character's voice and everything.
Yeah,
when I was playing as Duke Nukem in Bulletstorm, that was kind of hilarious because he said all his stupid cheesy one-liners that are really dumb, but it's still funny.
Was it actually fun to play as Duke Nukem in Bulletstorm?
Yeah. Yep.
Bulletstorm good.
Bulletstorm is crazy as hell. You can throw people into Venus flytraps. It's like you have to like combo your moves. Like it's so weird. It's hard to explain. You have to play it.
But was it a good game, unlike the Duke Nukem games? When is the last good Duke Nukem game they had?
I liked just one. There's only one Duke Nukem game I liked, and it was I can't think of the name of it.
Because wasn't Forever?
Yeah, Forever I think was the cool one.
Forever was the newest one. I thought that one was terrible.
Well, then you haven't played the other ones because Duke Nukem took Forever or whatever was better than all the rest of them to me.
Anyways, it's that time of the night.
Yeah. Time to do the wheel spins.
Yeah.
See what games we're going to be able to play this time. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm adding something. We're kind of shaking things up here.
Yeah, we wanted to mix it up a bit.
We're going to add a different element, which may help us to actually play better games.
Maybe you won't get Commando 3 type games again.
Better than Commando 3. We're going to spin 2 wheels each. The first wheel is going to tell us how many spins we get, and the second wheel, which would be 1, 2, or 3, and then the second wheel, we have to spin. It's the same wheel we've been spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll tell us what our options are. So, for example, if William spins a 3 on his first wheel, then he gets to spin 3 times, and he'll pick whichever one of those 3 that he actually wants to play.
Yep.
So that should be fun. Go ahead and share my screen here.
I would like to point out too, you did add the to our normal wheel.
That was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you did add the you choose one for me or I choose one for me.
Yeah, there's 2 of each of those.
None of us have hit any of those.
We haven't landed on that yet, but this might change with having the possibility for multiple multiple spins rather. All right. So, William, you want to go first?
Sure, go for it.
How many spins?
Let's get all 3. Come on, baby.
3.
Let's go. 3 spins.
3 spins. All right. Let's back
3
that
pieces
up.
of pie for me.
And watch a stupid leave ad.
12
I could use
hours
some
of
of that right now.
uninterrupted pain relief.
I've had a headache for like 3 days straight.
God. That's not good.
Yeah, probably not.
Go down here to Will's wheel.
La 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 la.
First
la.
spin. Origami 2.
Origami 2.
Yeah, you might want to write these down because
Don't have anywhere to write them out. I'm gonna.
all right,
throw 'em.
Origami 2.
I'll throw them in Trello real quick.
So if you don't pick it, it stays on the wheel though.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm not going to delete 3 of them off.
Oh crap! I didn't mean to do that.
Quantum Break. That's an amazing game. I've already played it. I beat it and everything. It's amazing.
Quantum
Break.
Break. Okay.
Edge of
Edge of
Eternity.
Eternity.
That's a role-playing game.
I guess I'll go for Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. It's an
Yeah.
excellent choice, believe me. I absolutely loved it.
Just off your recommendation, I'm going to do it.
You should not be
Disappointed.
it's got time travel, man.
Oh fuck yeah! I love time travel.
And in a very useful manner too. All right, let's watch an ad. I'm sure it's gonna give us an ad. Nope, it didn't give us an ad.
How many wheel spins you get?
Let's find out. I'm terrible with having choices, so 1 is good. All right. 1 it is.
So wait, can I just watch the TV show live? Because apparently Quantum Break's based off a TV show, or vice
No,
versa.
it's Quantum Leap.
Nah, Quantum Break TV series 2016.
Yeah, the game came out probably before that.
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna do both.
All right. So I
Yeah.
get 1. I get 1 spin. Oh, please land on something good.
Oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Sea of Solitude. I have no idea what that is. But it's on the Xbox because it's a green
Potato wedge.
app feedback. No thanks. No. Okay, can I avoid that? No. You're not gonna let me not do that. Look at this. Can't get out. No.
Just hit no.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right. So let me stop screen. Sea of Solitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
See what that's all about.
So, I forgot to put summary in. Hold on. Quantum Break centers on Jack Joyce, Sean Ashmore, granted time manipulation powers after a failed time machine experiment as he comes into conflict with former friend Paul Shrine over how to deal with the apocalypse end of time. In addition, the game includes platforming game elements and less action-oriented segments. And there's apparently one ending to this game.
And it's great. The game is great.
All right, what's your game about?
Sea of Solitude. Let's see. Consumed by loneliness, she has transformed into a monstrous caricature of herself. This nightmarish fable from Berlin-based, whatever, who cares, takes place inside a young woman's deteriorating psyche, depicted as a drowned city populated by the manifestations of her inner demons. So it's some Psychonauts almost type shit. Some
Hell
inside,
yeah.
what's going on inside your head type shit. But I don't know what genre it falls under, but we're going to find out.
I hope it's just as good as Psychonauts was.
Let's see here. There's a question. Is it a horror game? It's borders on survival horror.
Oh, it's survival horror. though.
No, but it's not really. It just says it has some hints of it, but not really. Should be interesting.
As always, you can find me on YouTube, MeWill123.
And you can find me at Mystery 8 Ball Gaming.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Do all that jazz.
Yep. And hey, if you're feeling frisky, you can hit the little bell so you know when we upload.
No matter how you're feeling, never
Be
play
it.
Commandos 3.
If you
There's
play
no good
Commandos 3,
excuse.
then you're brain
A noob.
damaged.
You're a noob.
Nah, you're not a noob. You have to be some kind of expert to deal with that bullshit. All right.
Sounds
Bye.
good.